we got a chance. We got to find a flaw in his plan.
Oh, not a chance, fella. Not a chance.
We're alive, we got a chance. We got to find a flaw in his plan.
Oh, not a chance, fella. Not a chance. Oh, not a chance, fella. Not a chance.
Good enough. Oh. I was going to say, I have no idea if it... Wait. How did that happen? I got this all set up before stream, like, I should every time, and actually did, and I made sure the suitcase was there. I didn't switch between... Oh. Oh, so I opened all this, set everything up, the suitcase was out, then I opened VTube Studio, and swapping models. The hotkey for the suitcase is on the 7. The hotkey for model swap is 067. So... Yeah, I played myself. Well, anyway, good afternoon. We're doing more of this because it's a fun game, and I like it. And also, I'm very head empty because I have a massive headache this morning, which I'm not sure if it's because I thought, I'll try a sleep aid. Surely it won't backfire horribly in my face like it does every other time. This time it'll be fine. And then it did. Or because of massive blood loss. Well, not massive. I had a surprisingly huge bloody nose last night out of absolutely nowhere, and I wouldn't be surprised if that had something to do with it. Or just chilling. And I want to see something, because... Ow. Okay. First of all, that did not help. So that's the nearest place. Right. New plan. We're going back into the dungeon to find Okuku, to warp out of the dungeon so we can actually warp back into the dungeon. Wait, how's it? Ah! I did not think that through. I forget that in the long list of... Man. Wait. No, I'm just being... Alright, I'm just going to stop commenting because I have no idea if I'm being very smart or very stupid, because I'm not sure if that should have worked. Right. Is there a thing here? Wait, is there actually a thing there? Okay, no. Because I saw the crack in the wall and what looked like a step up to the threshold, and the Legend of Zelda Hindbrain immediately said, wall crack, step up, secret, there's something there. Oh, there's nothing there. Well, take some more lantern oil, just in case. Yeah. No, I said this last time, but, well, probably not last time, or even the time before that. But I really... Now, I'd be really tempted if not for the fact that it kind of messes with the viewing experience, because I remember the Forest Temple from when we streamed Ocarina of Time and how awful that was. Oh, hey Minx, how you doing? Welcome in. just talking, chilling, doing stuff. No idea why I'm down here. Well, the kingdom is being... Actually, the kingdom is being saved, and we're a little bit more than just nearby. There's a couple of games where it does kind of feel like the kingdom is saved and you're just Indiana Jonesing it, where no matter if you were there or not, the plot would have been the same. Kingdom of Bread. I should not be trusted to run a government. Yeah, so far okay. It's been one of those days that I woke up tired, and I'm not sure entirely why. No plot. Only carnage of a little elf man. Exactly. Breath of the Wild. Things just happen. Alright. What's the puzzle here? Because I can get through there. But I need to go down below to turn this. And then get back up. Unless there's something on the second floor. This is the worst part about stopping a dungeon and then going back in is something like getting up to the second floor becomes absolutely... It's just lost knowledge. Like, I don't remember where I was or how I got there. Oh yeah, sure, you betcha. Hey, in all fairness, I am like one state over from there, so the accent is understandable. Wait. What? How? Why? Who? What is this? Oh. Time to meet Britt. Well, any bad decisions you care to make are your own. Huh? Who? Why? How? Take 1 day. Take 1 week off from where we're supposed to be playing this game because of a Balatro addiction, and suddenly it's just all of that. Where is Bread? Who is Bread? Why is Bread is a very good question, and one that will probably not have a satisfying answer anytime soon. Because at that point, you're getting into either the fields of philosophy or therapy. Well, I hope that you're doing well today, Minx. It's always nice seeing you around. Alright, I think I should check the map. Yeah, I think this links back around. Philosophy. Oh, right, I forgot I should actually be, Wow, that actually worked very well. Ow! Thought Link was thinking super hard. In all fairness, the like ever perpetual constant of Zelda games is that just thinking really hard and everyone was watching him have a moment. Honestly, can't argue with that. When a thought comes, there's not much you can do. Wait. You just have to let it happen. Like that one meme of I have an idea. Because I wouldn't say that like any incarnation of Link is truly brainless, but there's a couple where he does stuff first and then thinks about it later. Yeah, like just turning into the wolf. It happens, gets cursed. Like, hang on. I can use this. Am I in the right area? Yes, because I had opened up a shortcut. Okay, there's money over there. Remember that from last time. But doing all this opened up a shortcut, so I didn't have to do everything I did to get in here. I was just hoping that there was another switch. It's one of them. I'm a little bit more partial to Wind Waker because I really think that the art style's great and it's got boats in it. Like, how can you not like boats? Plus, that was my first game, so it's one of those instances of the first installment wins. But I really do think that Twilight Princess had a lot of interesting ideas that it's kind of a shame they never capitalized on. Because if you go through the dev, either cycle or history, whatever you want to call it, you can see that they used Skyward Sword, the one after this, as like a test bed for ideas for the series going forward, and then put a lot of that and feedback from that into making Breath of the Wild. And when that sold 1 billion copies all at once, they decided that that was what the series was going to be moving forwards. And I really wish they kind of looked at some of the ideas that were in this game a bit more, because that, for whatever reason, the Wii era had a whole lot of really interesting concepts in it, and then like a lot of really good writing that didn't. Oh, I see the way forward. Yeah, I love catching bugs, man. Wait. Yeah, the chandelier squashed one, or getting almost squashed by the chandelier to progress. I remember being very proud when I figured out that that's what I had to do. Yeah, edgelord writing plot. But I just feel that this version has the most interesting version of Zelda in it, that it's kind of a shame they didn't do more with, on account of how she's supposed to be the queen, but all this nonsense happened on Coronation. And there's that one cutscene where she's in the throne room with soldiers around, and okay, there I got squashed. The game legitimately sucks you in. It's amazing. What even happened? But there's just like a handful of things in thematic through lines that I kind of wish got brought back around. That being said, I also think that this game kind of works with the darker fantasy aesthetic. That it shouldn't be full like Dark Souls level dark and grimy, but just everything. Wait, where am I going with this? Because there's... No, wait, we've done everything over here. There's a basement. Now you get in through B2. Everything in front of there is just... It's all second floor. How do you get down there? Trying to compare the map and see where the way down is, but I've got no clue. Alright, pizza. And so well made. Like, wait, is this way down? You're Samola, can't tell if this is kind of early. It's like noon for me. Alright, just gonna look around and see what my options are, and don't really have many. Right, I can't make that jump. That is really good to know. But I think what this game sort of lacks in openness or ability to explore like Breath of the Wild and later games have, it makes up for the fact that they realized that going from not even GameCube to Wii, but from 64 to GameCube, because this was originally released on as a GameCube game, where they realized they could just pack a whole lot of details, and this being the Wii, it does look a lot better than. Wait, I think I remember it. GameCube to Wii. Hey, there's some games released on the Wii that did bring that transition upon people. Can I blow this up? That is the $1 million question. No. Alright. So I'm thinking there has to be something or some... Wait. Maybe there's wolf stuff. Paper Mario. Weeb Sports. And Weeb Sports Resort. That was a big one. So I think I can dig my way out of here with... Oh! Oh, wait, that's tricky. Gamers never look up. That's just an inherent rule. That's how you get into this room. Oh, and even the map marks that as a hole. Yeah, it's a part. It's something I've heard a lot of game design, that in most cases, people playing games tend not to look up and are concerned mainly with kind of a flat plane, or even having the camera look down. And a good way to hide secrets is, even if it's obvious, or I think it comes up a lot in multiplayer games, where someone will hop to a point where they're above everyone else. Like, I've seen it with Marvel Rivals, that because Spider-Man has web swinging and the ability to cling on, he was already dead when I got there. Is it murder to kill a ghost? Because they are technically already dead. Actually, if you kill someone and then murder their ghost, no crime has been committed on account of double jeopardy if you escape charges from the initial killing. Because then you can't be convicted for the same crime twice. Actually, I think that was the one of Christmas Future, if I remember the Muppet movies right. So what I call it Twilight is doggo mode, dual hook shots, and oh god, big water monster boss. Yeah, I don't think anyone really enjoyed Morpheal. Oh, thanks for the check-in. Double dead, double bread. Hell yeah. But no, the biggest thing that I wish they brought back in Twilight, or in Breath of the Wild, is the double hook shots, because that's just so cool. You know? Alright, now where am I going? Where?
Bread.
Alright, cool. Watching that. Wait, which movie? Oh, the Muppet, right? That was so bad and all my fault, because I was immediately like, wait, what movie did I just say? Did I bring up a movie? No, Muppet Christmas Carol is one of the best ones, simply because it's generally considered the two best Muppet movies are Treasure Island and Christmas Carol. In Treasure Island, it's considered that Tim Curry is a great actor for the Muppets because he treats himself like a Muppet. And for the Christmas Carol, Michael Caine explicitly said that he was going to treat it like the most prestigious Broadway musical, or high-grossing, high-effort adaptation ever, and he treats every Muppet like a fellow actor, and it's great. Yeah, oh yeah, that's a mood. 3 seconds later, already on the next thing. And here's the thing, I'm like that outside of streaming. In streaming, it's it's even worse. Oh, hey, Mecca. How's it going? Did you get the last 10 super credits you needed? I think with the increasing arachnophobia stuff, they also acknowledge thalassophobia. It's more of a deal with it. I guess the thing with... I'm just going to throw myself in some of these holes, see if there's a secret way down. I guess the thing with it is that thalassophobia, it's more of... with arachnophobia, they can swap the models or do something funny, or like with Grounded, where they just remove the legs and faces from the spiders and make it an orb. But with thalassophobia, it's more dedicated work to get around, which I hate to say it, but it's definitely a problem that needs to be addressed, but a lot of times accessibility features get hijacked for a joke. Like, the big thing I've been seeing around Blue Sky is people saying, hey, use alt text properly. It's supposed to be there so people using a screen reader can actually tell what's going on in an image. It's not there for jokes. But unfortunately, the moment they added alt text tagging on a thing like that, I feel like it should be doing something with that because it's just there. But it's been used for jokes more often than not. Oh yeah, and you cannot give a crab a gun. That's amazing. If you could have a movie where everyone was a Muppet except one person, what movie and who would be the human? That is a good question. Oh yeah, basically the same rule as Airplane and Leslie Nielsen films. If you don't like the joke, wait 3 seconds, there'll be another one. Yes. But that's a good... The Muppet one is always a perpetual favorite question, because you can get some good lines out of it. Like, I've heard some good answers, like Princess Bride, but everyone except for either Wesley or Buttercup is the Muppet. Or I think Alien, but the only quote-unquote human is the alien. That one would also be funny. What would be another good one? Shawshank Redemption, but the only one who isn't a Muppet is the prison warden. I think that one would be really funny. Oh, Twilight, that would be an amazing one. I think So I remember I did get pushed into watching Twilight once. However, both myself and everyone else in the VC we did it in were so drunk that night that I still haven't seen Twilight because I don't remember watching it. Which I think is probably the best way to consume Twilight. Actually makes the game easier, for the record, as it gets you through bosses super easily. Yeah, it's also funny. Like, that's a good way to adjust difficulty, because everyone who would normally complain about Souls games not being absolutely crushing experiences because they tie their entire identity into that can't really complain, because they're like, nah, it is funny. Come on, Link, stop freezing. Huh, wrong move, but I'll take it. That's still cool. Not anymore. That's the short answer of do I drink? Not anymore, because after a point it was getting a problem. So more like Airplane and Leslie basically acted everything. Yeah, because the thing with Airplane, and it's super interesting, before that point, Leslie Nielsen was known as a serious actor. Like, the entire joke of him being on Airplane was, it would be like if, man, I'm trying to think of something, but now I'm realizing that most of the actors I know are like big, already outside of acting personalities. It's like a flavored version of bread. Raisins bread or bananas. Or nuts. Yeah, there's always nuts in this bread. But it's like big, serious Broadway actor only does the most heart-wrenching, dramatic performances you can imagine. Was in a film with Adam Sandler. Like, yeah, it's innately funny that's exactly it. That Idris Elba's voicing Knuckles in the Sonic film. So, yeah, not bad. Tired and have slept. Hey, I also had a headache. I think we caught it from each other from playing Helldivers last night. Hope it gets better. But the other funny thing with Airplane is it's not an original movie. It's an adaptation of another airplane disaster movie called, I think, like Danger Zone or something. And the moment it's essentially credited with killing the genre of airplane disaster movies, because the creators watched the original movie, or Zero Hour, that's what it's called. They watched the original movie and realized any film where the line, "We need someone who knows how to fly a plane and didn't eat the chicken," was said dead seriously, and they could do whatever they wanted with that. So there's sections where they directly lift and quote dialogue from Zero Hour, like the whole it's a whole different kind of flying altogether is from the original film. And sometimes they don't even put jokes around it. It's just, oh shoot, thanks for letting me know. I'll scroll back up. Yep, got him the 9 more for the title. I think the biggest thing is for the spiders are usually the henchmen, just bad guys to fight. Games that Thalassophobia use. Yeah, that's true. That games with games with that phobia it usually intend for it to be freaky enough to give anyone without a taste of it, which is unfortunate for anyone with, because that gets really screwed up. But yeah, thanks for letting me know. If I ever miss a message, feel free to like either repeat it or point me back towards it. You're good, bro. You're literally fighting a dungeon with crazy Elfman. Yeah, but I'm also just kind of horribly lost because I do not remember. Wait. I am a fool. I literally have a mechanic for finding where these things are. The entire point is you can walk up to this thing, give it a good sniff, and find where it went, because there's going to be some hidden secret. Good. Just point out, don't. Yeah, and that's appreciated, because I know that for most cases, no streamer really wants to be able to miss messages. They just, for the most part, every streamer wants to be able to catch and respond to everything. I know there's a couple people who I've heard said they don't actually want to be quote-unquote large streamers, simply because that's going to make it so much harder for them to chat. And especially if it's on a conversation that I was trying to follow, because it's an interesting thing to talk about, the thalassophobia and phobias and how they are or aren't handled well by games. I do want to check it out. One thing at Christmas I found the fire rounds of tripping to Pete comedy, because it turns out can spread to other enemies' fire mechanic also counts they're on the floor, so that dude's basically running in and tripping. That reminds me of two things. The first is best way to use the flamethrower in Helldivers 2 being that if you you can spray a little on the ground, and it and it will cause a puddle of napalm that other enemies will just walk into, and it's a firewall. It's good at catching bugs. The other thing is one of my favorite things in Red Dead Redemption 2 that I did not I thought it was a scripted encounter and was how that specific section was supposed to end. But there's the one mission in like chapter 3 or 4 where all you're doing is, last mission, you stole some moonshine from some moonshiners and are now going into town to sell it. Like, just setting up at a bar and being like, yeah, we're doing an advertising promotion. Mind if we set up? You'll get a cut of the profits. Cool. And then leaving before they get said cut. And I thought that the firefight that it inevitably devolves into... Aha! I dig it, was supposed to set the bar on fire because I was using incendiary rounds in my double barrel shotgun, and I'm like, okay, it's a tight, right? This one's weird because it's just here in a very high stress area where you're probably going to use your sword because of the redeads or the Gibdos. But I thought that it was supposed to be a set piece, like the bar is supposed to almost burn down. No, it turns out in that game, if you shoot with enough fire, it will dynamically spread to things that you'd expect. Wood, cloth, most of the buildings in the game are made of both. And I had accidentally set the bar on fire myself, which makes the last line of the quest of, well, that didn't go terribly in front of this burning bar. So much hilarious, so much funnier. Killing bugs for justice and personal profit. Are you getting little gifts for... Oh, yeah, I got a few little gifts. Mainly most of it's kitchen stuff because I really like to cook. So... the most used gift so far has been a knife sharpener because the one on my knife block has broken a long time ago, and turns out when you put them in and they make a really loud noise, that means that they are dull as hell. So that's been nice, and honestly it's made it a lot more safer to cook because I'm not trying to force a dull knife through a potato. Also, you need someone good at making screaming funny, not horrifying. It's surprisingly entertaining, especially if the enemies talk hot shit beforehand. Yeah, I can get behind that. Like there's like a joke in Discworld of one character knows how to scream for help in 27 languages and just scream in another 40. Because it turns out screaming is important. Loud noise isn't bad. Saloon detonates. Pretty young guy, if you really want this message to be read and not missed, will be posted. Yeah. The other part is that I'm curious as to what people have to say. About half of this is just that I find half of why I'm streaming is because I find chatting to people interesting. But yeah, for the most part, it was. Oh yeah, we'll jump down. It was kind of a low-key Christmas because the week beforehand we had all gone on a trip up to Canada to visit some family, so that was kind of what all of our big splurge was on, just being up in Canada. Oh, thank you. Yeah, low-key Christmas. Someone accidentally got shot through the heart with mistletoe, and it ended with someone else getting chained to a rock because of it. Man, where the heck is that cuckoo? And what was that noise? Norse God Trickster's Holiday. There's a long, kind of odd, but makes sense in a way, theory that I heard on like overly sarcastic production stuff of how a good odd for the origin of Santa might actually just be Odin. Just Odin through a handful of centuries of refiltering the myths and also a lens of corporate nonsense. Found his glass windows shattered just by touching them, basically. Does it make sense? No. Is it kind of silly fun? Yes. Yeah, overly sarcastic production is amazing. I think, technically speaking, because all of their videos are their own animated cartoon drawings of themselves synced up to the talking. I think they're also technically the first VTubers I've watched. Large stone or large bird or country in the Middle East? A rock, a rock. Yes. Oh, I remember this room. For 2 reasons. One, actually for 3 reasons. One, I'm pretty sure the cuckoo's in here. 2, these things. And 3, which I did not pick up to until my 3rd playthrough, ghost rats. Like, I always thought that it was just you had to go through here super fast, or else you just get slowed down to a point you can't. No, you're getting absolutely bodied by a ton of rats. An ungodly amount, as we have covered earlier, that 5 is a godly amount of rats. Hang on. And that's what's slowing you down. 52. Pretty sure I almost drowned twice. Which is not an IR. Wait. I don't know if that was from a game where I didn't have a very good gauge on how much air I had, or IRL, because both are kind of accurate. Waffles, yeah, waffles are a vehicle to get good in your body. That's just true. Right, I remember why I was so convinced that iron boots help with pulling things, because I had used them here to get enough traction to pull, well covered, unknowingly being covered in rats. That reminds me of the Philomenia Kunk clip that I watched of First Village. And gotta be a little bit faster than the door. There you go. In. So you guys, look at this, but over Middle East. I'm not there because it's really fucking dangerous. Yeah, that's a good one, and I remember seeing that they're bringing back they're bringing that back for a 2nd season. Ooh, hey, scarabs. You. At last. How do they know? Like, how do they know that I'm the same person? Because I'm currently in doggo mode. Rats along his back. I wish I remembered the full bits of that song. Me and my body while I eat a waffle. Get good. Alright, and I want to do this on account of having a shit ton of money that I would rather not be in here. Because this is the best feature. Cuckoo Jr. The life cycle of a cuckoo is weird, because they're chicken duck woman thing. But when they're young, they're just heads. But they don't have any legs in that form, so they're not cephalopods. Because that very specifically requires you to also have feet. Alright. Back to Kakariko. Drop all of my money into the fund. This reminds me of Gakami, a friend of Christmas, because Wolflink and Sammy weirdly popular. Same with Marvel vs. Capcom 3 with Dante. The human ant for half of more. There's a human version of Okami's Amaterasu. I did not know that. Thank you for the quote. Chicken duck woman thing. I'm going to get that so confused with the bad lip sync. Oh, come on. Oh, yes, we have to kill time until morning. There's that eternal I have no idea how to get up there thing. There's... Oh. Right, just fan work. Yeah, it's kind of weird to think, because I know Okami was inspired by Legend of Zelda, and I have a hard time believing that a game with... Oh, I don't think I have that. No, wait, that's a Poe. I refuse to believe that this game that has a smart mouth, sassy, and small assistant character to a much more competent canine main character is not inspired by Okami. So I guess it just kind of went circular, which is nice. Right. Ghost Heart. Yeah, that I've definitely heard that too, that there's no connection. Oh, hey. My horse. Can I get that? I should be able to get that. I have a hook shot. I see no reason why I shouldn't be able to just grab on over there, unless I need the dual hook shot. Oh, right, I need the dual hook shot. Wait, then how do I get the... Hang on, I think I understand what I have to do. I think the way you get those pieces of hearts in weird far-off locations is you need to find some hawk grass. Anyone else, please take my bait. That's an early quote. What's that? No, I don't think I've ever played a Yoshi game. Morally absolved myself of the crime I'm about to commit. Always good to do that first. Okay, but I'm thinking there has to be some hawk grass or something in order to get that nonsense. And phenomenal cosmic power god wolf that actually acts like a canine is... Oh yeah, it's super funny, but I definitely know that it's a pun of, like, Okami can either be read as great god, or like it's one reading is great god, the other reading's like wolf. Oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot. It's just a perpetual mood here. Hey. Give me that goop. I know I knew it when when I was streaming Okami. I don't remember it now. Because the information has just gone. Give me the goop boys and free my soul. Don't have anything else. Don't have anything else from the second part of the verse. Okay, watch me trying to get... Me trying to get this piece of heart here is probably going to take long enough that all the other, or that the day is gone. But that's how it happens. Everyone 1OSP Amaterasu myth might have some party god vibes. A little bit of party god vibes, a little bit of lesbian connotation. That's why I remember about that OSP video. Alright, maybe you can just grab those with the boomerang, and I'm just really bad at it? Nope.
Look, violence is never the answer. It's the solution.
Yes. Oh. I am just bad. That is a piece of art we could have gotten at any... There's 2 pieces of art we could have gotten at any time, because you cannot get to this area without having the boomerang. That I just never got, because I couldn't get it to line up properly. I'd say I'm embarrassed, but honestly, I've done worse, and at this point it's just kind of funny. Game. Oh yeah, for sure. There's a funny thing that I've learned from watching like history videos in the general, and OSP is specifically, is that 9 times out of 10, the past was so much gayer than you'd imagine. What was I talking about? I was distracted by having to photograph a corpse. What? I'm not even confused by the concept. I'm trying to think of what game gave us a camera. When did I have to take a picture of a... Or... It almost feels like it was more... It had more to do with, like a model question. I wish more dungeons had a child section. That had to be Ocarina of Time. Right, it was BioShock. That is one that I did. We never finished BioShock. We got like halfway through, because that was part of Goon Week, alongside with Fallen Aces. And then I got distracted by something else. So, yeah, that was the research camera. Because to start off, you have to take a picture of just a splicer. And I'm pretty sure No, wait, it wasn't that. It was that I was taking a picture of a dead splicer to try to get the points. And then I lost track of what was going on. Yeah, I like it. It's conceptually very simple. Like, it's just laying there. You take a snapshot and you're good. Hang on. I actually have to fight him? Lame. All I'd have for quotes, but I got a recent tripping to 10 guys loud on fire screaming. This is fine. This is fine. I found that the best thing for quotes is that you just kind of wait for something dumb to happen, and then when it does happen, it's immortalized. Because it took me like, what, 2 years to get max amount of quotes? Hang on. I think this works, that if I do... Ah. We have beaten this. That's from Red Dead. That one I know. I remember what it happened. Promise me pretty, Steinman. Now look at me. Look at me. God, this is such a good game. Wait. Why did I need to blow up those skeletons? What? I mean, it was a fun little diversion, but I don't know why it was necessary. Yeah. I remember one was great. 2 was one that I, for whatever reason, never was able to get, but I've heard that it was really good. Infinite was Infinite. That one was a little bit meh. Huh. All right, so we're stuck in here, which means there is a way forward, whether I like it or not, or understand it. Come on, play this. Oh, Atomic Hearts, that... Wow, my controller just completely disconnected. Oh, wait, there's a rare use case for the lantern. They do not like the light. But Atomic Hearts was one that I have wanted to try out because I like the formula and aesthetics. But it's a shame that they didn't have much good to say about it. That it wasn't very well received, because it looked cool. But I suppose it's the same issue that was run into with pretty much everything Raven Software ever tried to do. It's kind of really hard to compete with BioShock as a concept. That they did... Oh. That's how. That's where I'm going. That they did it so well that all imitators are just kind of trying to do BioShock again. But I've also learned that there's a little bit of, this is a good game, so long as you don't have someone yelling in your ear that it's not. Also, this looks ominous. We probably shouldn't do that. Raven with Singularity and Wolfenstein 2009, I think that was it, which in both cases, I believe that they're trying to do BioShock because all their mechanics really feel like BioShock. They have main guns on one trigger, powers on another, and very clear inspiration, but also, I love this boss. But it's kind of clear that they don't have they didn't have the level design, because BioShock is semi-open. You can return to areas and go and choose your way through. And also, and BioShock is a little bit of an immersive sim. Like, it's closer to Thief in that regard. But what they were trying to do was a lot more linear. Gone so far off the rails, we're in a different railway company's jurisdiction. It's most games. Most are rather enjoyable if someone yeah, for sure. That if they're not screaming about how awful it is or what they personally didn't like about it, it's a lot more enjoyable. Get down here, you weird skeletal goat thing. The game's just... like, that's kind of a big problem. The games just aren't really allowed to be okay. They're either blockbusters or abject failures. Nobody's able to be content with seeing a game and saying, yeah, it was aight. Yep. Ads. We'll be back in a moment.
To enjoy the clear, cold days of winter, when the earth is buried under its glistening blanket of snow.
Ads should be over. All right. This dude, which actually goes down pretty easy for a mini boss. For as cool of design as it is, and the implications of why is there a sword covered in all these spell tags that the moment you break one, a demon comes out? Why is it the sword that explodes and the body just disintegrates into locusts? Okay? Why is that down here? They had the means to potentially kill Ganondorf, and why did they not execute this thing? And why is he guarding this device that is like highly necessary to navigate the rest of this dungeon? Sometimes the screaming complaints can be fine. Lack of self-awareness, like complaints with Veilguard. Oh, but its first impression trailer is so awful, it'll be judged by that. As if Origins didn't have its infamously terribly edgy trailer, but yeah, they never acknowledged that, because that was back when games were allowed to to be mid or just merely okay, and you kind of were able to see the trailer, and then later you'd get more information, give it a try. Local Star Rail, space train operated by bugs. Don't believe it exists. So it reminds me of funny things. Some gift Sailor Moon taking out Frieza, and the response being, "It's a bit much. You wouldn't need super for it." Apparently, people used to get big mad saying that Sailor Moon was legit Dragon Ball Z level powerful. Yeah, it's always. No, wrong way. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Ha! Worked. Yeah, the power scaling arguments are always kind of funny because from the information available, you can almost always find something very small and unassuming. And it's like, oh yeah, this thing has eaten a galaxy at one point. Doesn't remember, but it's happened. The Kirby. It's the Kirby exception. The refusal to acknowledge time has passed, and that being this ain't your parents' fantasy, we've got blood and sex. Oh, for sure. There is so much stuff that's just kind of rooted in... Oh, I'll take that. In just... They take the same idea, and I think it has more to do with how things end up as formulaic as they get. That you get something that worked once, and they keep on trying it because that worked. Like at one point, dark, edgy, this ain't your parents' fantasy game was not only interesting, it was kind of revolutionary. And then they just kept on doing it over and over ad nauseum. Although I do know that the sex appeal for Dragon Age is a big pull. I know several people who play it as a dating game, primarily. And more power to them. It's funny. Yeah, by all means, go lay down and get some rest. And thanks for coming by. I hope you have a good day and that head feels better. And see you around. People put Sailor Moon doesn't need tuxedo masks. It's just her version of eye candy to encourage her. I can basically, except she can kick someone to the stratosphere. Yeah, just don't mess with magical girls. They're kind of intense and have no chill. Revolutionary leads to every trying leads to. Yeah, revolutionary leads to everything trying it. It leads to oversaturation, which leads to becoming a meme. Exactly. Once I remembered how to read, I got what you're saying. That unfortunately a lot of, and it's kind of executive based or driven, I feel, that it starts out as, oh, right, we need to do something that works because whatever creator's project they were trying didn't lead to a blockbuster sale. Yeah? Well, now where are we? So they've got to try something fresh, but by their records, the last type of game that they made worked really well and did numbers, so that's the template they use. And then it doesn't do numbers because they already did that and there's nothing new. There's a point where I feel Call of Duty went from everyone loved it and it was the big thing to everyone kind of got sick of it, and the general feeling, unless you wanted more multiplayer with minor tweaks, it was just, this has been done time and time again. they're not adding anything revolutionary to it, and the stuff they're adding is honestly a bit annoying. But when it first came out, it was kind of revolutionary. It's old enough that its cohorts were things like Doom 2's modding scene, which is freaking eternal. It will never die. That one will never die. And Halo. So you have a realistic game using Halo's two weapon switch sort of system. And it's set in a historical World War II setting, at least for the original ones. And did I get everything? There's just that chest with like 50 rubies, and yep. But then they just kept on doing that, and after a point they started adding on, or they started doing games and settings where it's like, you know, in terms of today's political climate, this feels like propaganda, etc., etc. Things about magical girls being busted seems like outside of it's basically never acknowledged. Like, get mocked in it. Oh, look how long they do flashy things. Just shoot or deck them. That actually work. It's probably... Yeah, I have a theory for that, in that the type of person who does power scaling is probably a... Ooh. I don't want that over the potion. It's probably a bit of a dude bro fan who stakes their identity on like one thing, like the Dark Souls bro, who are very annoying and only really play. Oh, holy shit! That actually worked. I did not expect it. I didn't expect to make that jump. And only play the one game, and they're seeing something that the primary audience is meant to be female, and there's a little bit of misogyny and a little bit of there's been this one TikTok series of videos that I've been low-key kind of cathartically watching. The concept started as Star Trek could deck any other sci-fi universe or work of fiction just because of how stupid Star Trek is. And then then the 40K fans got a hold of it, and it devolved into, no, 40K isn't the strongest sci-fi thing. Most of the time there wouldn't be fighting, because most sci-fi settings would look at the state of the Imperium with pity and relief resources. And it just goes on to how things like, yeah, there's one time in Star Trek where they mentioned lasers. I know phasers look like lasers, but they're different. And that was in confusion because someone was shooting at the Enterprise with lasers, and like, that's not even going to do anything to the shield, the low-level shields we have up to keep from getting smashed in by asteroids and space junk. How low-tech are these guys? Thing about magical girls being... Alright, I read that. Not just power scaling. Feels like media does it a lot. Yeah, I also remember hearing something that there's like a point where they tried to do where someone did deconstruction of the genre. That got popular, so now there's just everyone doing really kind of shitty jobs at deconstructing the genre, and it's just kind of awful. Call of Duty Syndrome. Yes, Call of Duty Syndrome, video game Catch-22. Make games that are well-loved, continue to make that game over and over. Fans act for something different, release something different. Fans say they don't want different, go back to previous game style. Fan complaints not different. Yes, that happened. That Catch-22 happens so much. Like, I've mentioned it a couple times that Zelda always does it. That the previous game was the gold standard. The newest game release was absolute garbage. And like, the people said that about this, but look, we're fighting a giant fuck-off skeleton. How is this not the coolest thing ever? This is by far my favorite boss, just because I'm pretty sure you don't. No, there is some sections where you sword strike it, but most of the time you're just hitting it with the spinner. All right. Ran into a place that out wildling and Reddit mentioned before. God Emperor Mankind versus Sailor Moon. The first comment was, sorry dude, I don't think this is good. Right? It never does, because a lot of people with Warhammer don't just see it as cool things, but don't really get that a lot of the tech is intentionally very underwhelming, because they're supposed to be pitifully underpowered. Well, the Breaker's going, so that's a good thing. I think in any genre that gets a bit too obsessed with deconstructing and realistic or gritty takes on it, like superhero media, that's been something that's kind of gotten me burned out on it, that everything is like, well, this is how it'd be in reality. I'm like, no, I don't want to go see a superhero film that's grounded in reality. I want to go and see Spider-Man do something irresponsible, like hold up an entire building on his back. Would that work? Is that possible? No. Am I aware of that? Yes, I went to the theater to see a superhero fan. I am aware that this is fiction and is impossible in reality. Stop being embarrassed about the source material and just engage in a few genre standard contrivances. It's healthy. It'll do you good, and people won't be I suppose that's just the real crux of it all, that people feel embarrassed by a lot of the media that they're making. And I feel like a lot of it is like Hollywood seeing superhero movies are super profitable. So a lot of people who just want to make like crime dramas or more realistic stuff do not have a good time. Yeah, it's a pay-to-play boss. Minda's just up at the top of this pit saying, cheering on and doing whatever they do. But it's always funny for something like that, because a lot of it is just they're not looking for the argument itself. They're just trying to make themselves feel better because they have so much staked into that identity. The funny bits of the verses was the Maker going, oh, but what if they do mental mind torture? And it's just like, Sailor Moon ran into someone doing planet-wide despair sadness stuff, and she went, meh. Like, deconstruction's also, right? That so often it's like with most, that got him. Wait, I think that also dealt a bit of damage. That would be so funny if you could lose and get a death just because that one cutscene does like a half heart. Yeah, it's like Kirby, that people kind of discount that one conceptually just because it's cute. It's cute and squishy looking. But when you look at some of the original stuff, it's like, oh wait, this is actually darker than the original. Like, when you think about it, what's here, it was just the point of the original. Or this is darker than the darker and edgier remakes. It's just that the point of this in the original was they're kind of better than that. Like, I know one thing of why people can prefer Star Trek Deep Space Nine over Next Generation or the like is because it's like, yeah, Deep Space Nine has a lot of background a lot of these more interesting background politics and hints of corruption and the like in the Federation. Like, first of all, there are some episodes of that in Next Generation Original. Second of all, the conceptual point of the Federation is they've kind of gotten past that. They're meant to be a utopian vision of what humanity could be. I bet people would try to pull some fear thing with Lincoln yet, right? Yeah, fear does not work for Link at all, because, you know, most incarnations have the conceptual incarnation of the virtue of courage in his hand. Also, hey Wolfie, how's it going? How's Yakuza Kiwami going? Get aim. Saw that you were playing that earlier and got and we're doing some of the Hostess Club side games. Hope that was going well. I won't go in. We're just in a rant of of various genre deconstructions and reconstructions, and how a lot of times media kind of feels like it's made by people who are embarrassed by it conceptually. Smile Precure also basically had a Pennywise villain, less overtly Lovecraftian, was psychologically breaking people's supernatural gesture, and the cast gradually just got used to dealing with him to the point that some of the girls would solo him. And I got tab out to save the game because doxing. Kwami's fun, might get into the host mini game. Nice. I never really got into that whenever I was doing it, but the business mini games are really fun. Like, half of the fun of that series is just there's hot nonsense for you to get distracted by while you should be doing a serious crime drama film. But yeah, I honestly feel that a lot of I have opinions of Grimdark, and the first is that if anyone who unironically and uncritically is obsessed with it would ever figures out that their favorite genre was named after a meme, it would break them. Because that entire genre of Grimdark is named after the fact that at the start of every Warhammer 40k game or whatever, there's the opening monologue. In the grimdark future of the 41st millennia, there's only war. And that tagline is repeated through everything 40k so often that fans have been squishing it together for a long time of, yeah, Grimdark. In the grimdark future. And largely we're making fun of how often Games Workshop put that specific monologue into things. It's really similar to the whole everything sci-fi starts with the Star Wars opening crawl. Which leads to the other thing that I honestly believe Warhammer 40k is supposed to be. It's supposed to be largely comedic. Like, it's satire, and satire is usually something you can laugh at, but it's not meant to be taken seriously. You're meant to look at it and laugh at how freaking dumb everyone is. Well, he wasn't dangerous either. It's just, magical girls can in fact throw hands. There's a reason 99% of them don't use guns. Yeah, and that's like, it's also one of the few series where the whole, yes, we don't use guns because our swords, hammers, whatever are stronger. Then I can look and say, like, fair. Only saw a Grimdark that actually busts his SMT and really doesn't act like Grimdark. You can get personal happy endings, punch the problem hard enough, basically give people some time anyway. Yeah. And for a lot of Grimdark, it kind of feels like they're just pushing, like they're just, I think think what I'm trying to say is that there's a couple different types. There's like cautionary tale grimdark, which is, I feel like 40K is, where it's supposed to say, hey, here's 5-6 different factions with different vibes of authoritarianism, and here's how bad, theoretically, a society like this could get. This ain't a good thing, but they're also really, it's also self-defeating and really stupid. Titus feels like it's treated a bit more seriously, also kind of breaking so many 40K grimdark rules. What now? Yeah. And also, the big nail in the coffin is that every army of 40K is based off of either some concept or, in the Imperium, off of some real world military force. You know which group of horribly evil and chaotic individuals that they chose to base the orcs off of? Football hooligans. European football hooligans. And they saw them like, yeah, those guys. They are on the same level. That mob is on the same level as everyone else. How's it saying? Oh, right. Different genres of grimdark. That it's either like cautionary tale, something like SMT. From what you're saying, it feels like that's more of a, hey, things are bad, but it is possible to resist and push against it. Like, it's bad and fighting back is difficult, but possible. And then there's like what my least favorite version of grimdark is, that it's just nihilism. It's just, there's no point. Everything you do is going to make it worse. There's just nihilism. Because I'd say most cyberpunk, if it's good cyberpunk, that should be grimdark. The whole point of cyberpunk is looking into looking into a future where capitalism runs rampant, companies have more say than governments, and individual lives don't matter at all. That being good, for that genre to be good at all, there should be elements of grimdark in there. It should feel kind of hopeless. But a lot of, especially the early stuff, like the early tabletop RPG, early films, movies, books, also had an undercurrent of resistance and I suppose anarchy would be a good way to say it. Like, everything's awful, but it's still worthwhile to get up and do some sort of active resistance to this all. Then it got overly corporatized because it made money, and corporations realized, hey, this is all poking fun at us, or this is a message against us. We have to neuter this. And then, yeah. Reminded the one Precure and Smile in her first fight did a Bowser throw. First fight on a 2-story tall monster. Let her tear rock out of the ground bigger than her to throw. Yeah, they're just insane. Like, on the level of things that threaten Eldritch Horrors, there are other Eldritch Horrors, magical girls, plot-specific weaknesses. That's how it goes. Theme of SMT5 Vengeance basically was, do we work with the system as is, try and make it something better, or just tear it all down and hope that the next thing's better? Stream solution, but it's not treated as an evil impossible. Yeah, and that's why I think a lot of people who look to Dark Souls for the plot rather than just it's a very hard thing, why it gets lauded for like the story and lore a lot, because a lot of Dark Souls, the end choices comes down to either relight the fire and keep the current cycle going, or recognize or what a lot of fans take the interpretation to be as, recognize that the cycle's rotten to the core and just let it continue. It's not necessarily bad for this all to be replaced by something else. It's just natural, and we have to, like, the end of everything is decay. Nothing lasts forever, and at a certain point you just have to stop propping up a dying system and let it all just fall down. The most nihilistic thing in SMT was the White and 4, and manga's even confirmed their black hole ended all thing didn't even work. Perfect. It's hard not to see that sort of hopeless nihilism just get thrown aside because, dude, what the heck? I wonder if Nahobino and SMT counts as Magical Girl adjacent. I mean, it does punch out a few Eldritch Horrors along the way. It's certainly ambiguous enough in looks. Magical girls, magical boys, and magical non-binary pals. They're all more or less the same. It works, it works. Oh yeah, I think I see a golden bug up there. Trying to find some horse grass, because I know where a couple of things that I can use the spinner for are. Wait, get... Oh right, I had another rant that I wanted to bring up that was off of nihilism, off of something else, but I don't remember what it was. I'm sure I'll remember like right after the stream and think, dang it. No, I did get a... I was trying to remember if I got the next Howl Stone, but I don't think there was one in the desert. Horse grass would be nice, though. I just don't... Wait, you have to... I know that there's a thing that you can just get a summon opponent everywhere charm. And you just have to wait until a certain point in the story that I don't remember. I think Metaphor also kind of something similar, but in terms of dark fantasy stuff, only JRPG tropes are still in effect. Besides the charismatic villain outmaneuver basically everyone, you get the we help everyone good guys. Yeah, and that's honestly really good. Like, the Metaphor definitely wears what it's trying to be on his sleeve. Like, it's called Metaphor. That should be a hint that everything going on is more or less a little bit allegorical, you know? Stay on that. And then, and I honestly think that a lot of it's really not helpful to have something that says trying to do any or whatever. I think I need the boomerang for that. Whatever you can is unhelpful. It's just a better message. So I remember the summon my balls from everywhere item to forget that. Ah, wonderful. Games letting you name things were both amazing and a mistake. What were these? Oh, wait, no, it's slow enough. I know that I'm pretty sure the final wallet upgrade, it doesn't require all of them. Ooh. Get everything I stole back. Before it isn't so naive that it thinks it'll be easy or anything, or that it won't take time, but giving up entirely isn't a solution. Yeah, and I feel like at least IRL, that's where a lot of things, or a lot of people kind of lose it, where it's not easy immediately, and it takes a long time. Therefore, it's stupid to try, which is, honestly, at that point with dealing with that sort of person, I'd rather they just go full on the side of whatever they claim to say is horrible, but it's no use trying to do anything. It's like, that's just kind of how it is. You know, anything worth doing ends up being hard work and takes a lot of time and effort, but it's worth doing, which is why why it has to be done. Although one thing I do find funny on Metaphor is that whenever they look at the book the main character has, they always describe it as, oh, it's a fantasy novel. And every time I see it, I'm like, you know, works of political philosophy like this, like the contents of this book describing a utopia feels like a handful of real-world political philosophy books that just kind of exist. The one I always bring to mind, because I think it's the funniest thing to compare it to, is everything about the lost city of Atlantis comes from one work of Plato that has Atlantis as a metaphor for what a utopia would be and how that could still fail, or how people could cause that to fail. Like, yeah, it's just political philosophy. We have things like this in real life. It's fine. Also, is this one section of the game here, this one puzzle where you jump from rail to rail over a canyon to get to a piece of heart, the only reason that I really like the spinner? Yes. It also helps that is one of the, like, 2 or 3 places that has a place for the spinner. And right here is also a lot faster. It's a lot faster to go on the spinner than take the horse. Book of Metaphor is actually pretty funny in proper context. Yeah, it's also funny in improper context. Because I haven't played that game because it's $70 base, and like, it looks like a good game, but I'm not familiar enough with Atlas and Persona type games to know if I would get $70 worth of enjoyment out of it. So I think I'm just going to watch a couple people play it and hope that I can piece together. It's how I consume Persona 5, which, by the blood curse, I have to mention, was launched on the PS3. Just that I've never played it, but I've seen enough people play it that I can kind of piece together how it's supposed to go. And you know, I think that's a fair way to consume media. Alright. Enough of whatever horseless nonsense I was doing before. Like 5-hour demo for this. Yeah, I should try that. I've been meaning to, but does anyone else do this where you see a game and the initial reaction is, all right, that's a good game, but it feels like a game that goes to this system. Like, for the longest time, I didn't buy Slime Rancher because my first thought was, that's a Nintendo Switch game. That game belongs on the Switch. It doesn't feel right to play it on anything else. And Metaphor feels like a PS5 game. Partially because being able to put it on the PS5 means that I get to sit on the couch and can do any grinding I need to while half aware of my surroundings, which is a massive plus. And I only recently got my PS5 back and I still have to set it up. But I should definitely try the demo. if nothing else, it's 5 hours a game. Hmm? Oh. Oh, right, we got mail. Right. Barnes got that. Cuckoo's got that. Oh, and the plot hook. Waking also makes fun metaphor joke with a ripped metal microphone out of your chest. Shout with it. Yeah, they're speaking through the heart. No game is above a good pun. I think it's Telmo. Hey. Oh yeah, I got your own things. Doing Ashe. Right. The big briefing map in the middle. Snow Peak and head. Right, I remember this being a bit of a pain. And by a bit of a pain, I mean massive back and forth. Wait. What's the... Yeah, we're just gonna warp. Because there's a tunnel... There's a tunnel in Kakariko's graveyard that goes all the way to Zora's domain. I don't know where it goes, but it certainly goes up there. I also love how the Zora, they don't, Midna doesn't let you teleport, but the teleport to Zora's domain is in the middle of what is explicitly their throne room. Like, that is where that's where Zora royalty is gonna be. So you can't do anything like teleport away when people are watching or even turn to a wolf. But they are absolutely fine. Hang on, I didn't think this through. I think I gotta move back here and yeah, it can they'll transform, but you can just teleport. Or if Stroll's Awakening, but it's also fits dark fantasy clashing against JRPG stuff, whereas reaction of welcome to the real world for people being abandoned and nobles acting selfishly was that's a real world, then you can die along, right? There's so much of Grimdark that's, yeah, this is how the real world really is, and you can't change it at all. Like, so you're just admitting defeat and rolling over. Wonderful. Because there's a place for both. Like, the purpose of Grimdark or dark fantasy is to point out something like, hey, here are the inequities inherent in the world in a form that you cannot argue with. Like, this is as raw and real and a world idealized for suffering. Hey, I thought you had to do something to unfreeze this. Out. And more idealistic works, like the stereotypical JRPG, it's one of those cases of the Neil Gaiman quote that fairy tales aren't important because they tell us that that monsters exist. They're important because they tell us that they can be defeated. Whereas Grimdark or Darker Things is important to tell us that monsters exist. That's how the world works. Fucks that. Turns into 9-foot mechanical Robo Knight. Solves all of your problems. Like, seriously, if you have an issue don't know how to solve, transform into a 9-foot tall Robo Knight. This will not work if it's 8 foot 6 inches and will not work if it's 9 foot 1. I've tested. Hey, Strong. Right, now the fishing side. Apparently this thing's been stealing redfish from the village. Is it really stealing fish if the Yeti is just going into the village and fishing? Because one of the big things that comes out of this is nobody knows how to catch these fish. Oh, fish. Yeah, reek fish. And show himself because we're catching reek fish. I think anyone's... Yeah, like right here. We didn't think anyone besides Prince Ralis was capable of catching this type of fish. So it's categorically not stealing because it's an inaccessible and also replenishable resource. Because I doubt one Yeti can overfish this unimportant fish. Dude's WWE call out of waking Gray all the way through, even with like, come on, show you a world with honor. I mean, the best way to refute a moral nihilist is to kill them. So, which is one of my all-time funniest philosophical arguments I've ever heard of. That also has a point. Because if nothing matters, why do they care? So he's just refuting their argument. Oh God. Well, this is on me because I did bring up Plato earlier, but it's not even an untried method of philosophical debate. There is, according to the historical record, Plato was a philosopher, but was first a wrestler. And one of his ways of refuting other philosophers' arguments in a debate was to just stand up and flex. So he's just using an old Greek method of arguing. Graveyard. More selfish villain, but yeah, funny enough, there's a meme that was SMT4, but with Flynn in front of them with the smirk status. And more games need creative status effects. Because, yeah, you have paralyzed, poisoned, confused. But it's just more interesting. Like how Borderlands, the elements are fire, cryo, in 2 at least slag, radiation in 3, and then explosion. Ship blowing up is officially recognized in universe as an element. Like, yes, the four classical elements: earth, wind, fire, and explosion. I don't know, it just makes it fun and stands out to have like how Earthbound had status effects like homesickness or heat stroke. And smirk status is a fun one. You came to me in dream, showed me your image, so you have domains. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, teach me how to fish. Alright, let's try here. Sorry about standing on your parents' grave, but the fish is important. So your reek fish, rare specimen, needs valuable type of coral. I love how this is both known information, but also nobody has a clue how to catch these things. And I don't even know why, because these fish oh wait, delicacy. I was just saying, like, I don't know why. This fish absolutely stinks, which is why it's called a reek fish. But then I remember, how many poisonous fish are served up as delicacies currently? I think TF2 Common Class TF1 Mercs versus the Madness Team 2 group is Miss Pauling. But if you want to know how we won, honestly, I have no fucking clue. I love that. That and like the Tumblr social media versus things of like, yeah, the TF2 mercs versus the Overwatch cast. The TF2 mercs would win out of sheer incompetence. Like, they would be doing that's where it lets out. They would be doing stuff that makes no sense, and the TF2 cast, or the Overwatch cast, would have absolutely every possible advantage over them. And they would still win because they're the poster children of out-stupiding the competition. Enough to help Agent 47 on the job. Tried to chime in because we have no souls. What? I still can't believe that they actually completed that comic after so many years. Because I think they did the last one that ended on a cliffhanger at like 26, somewhere between 2012 and 2016. It was a long time ago. And then they just, years later, dropped this. I don't... Yeah, the blood-sucking robots lost despite overwhelming them because Demo Man's blood made them drunk. He hadn't been drinking, he's just built like that. Demo Man, who also... Comic has one of my favorite lines. What did they do? What did they do to the Demo Man? They gave him solid food and water. His body's so used to wresting nutrition out of grain alcohol that he doesn't know what to do with it. Like, get over here. And then the like scene right after that where Medic is just putting, that is not the right one, just putting their blood back in with a bucket. Like, I have no idea how this is working. or no, why? Yeah, I don't have a medical license. I don't see why anyone would. This is so much easier. Go on, fish. TF2 is just a world where nothing makes sense because it's all just funny. And it's amazing for that. Alright. Now back to the blizzard. Like, just bullshits med science they may or may not have done. Good luck figuring out what it is. He just does whatever, and when the universe can't comprehend what it did to, or what should happen from all of it, they just kind of say, alright, fine, this works, this is giving us a headache. Go away and stop bothering us. Yeah, I'm just hoping that this is a sign that Valve is trying to do more stuff. Because while I don't necessarily think that I don't think we necessarily need like a Portal 3 or all of their old games to be brought back, because honestly, I'm not sure Valve in its current state could make something as well received as Half-Life 2 was initially, just because it's been so long and different in terms of dev teams and how games are made now. And I'm not entirely sure that the hype of Half-Life 3 can't... The general hype behind Half-Life 3 can live up to what they need, or what people are expecting. But I think it's good that they're willing to make games and do this process for their for old and kind of forgotten projects. Remember when it was just an actual pen, but the baboon pregnancy device was real? Also, 3 baboons would be too much. Yep. I love the odd set pieces in these games that are done once or twice, but not returned to. Because I honestly think that... Oh, nice. I ain't gonna remember this. Alright, good enough. So it's just like held for a long... 2 bars. Nope. But yeah, I think that a lot of times people say, yeah, we want more of this set piece. Oh, I think it's that one that I hold. Like, more of this set piece, or they had this mechanic that was criminally underutilized. Guess not. And we wanted more of it. I honestly think that sometimes the best thing to do is... is to just give them that... Wait, I think that's the end of it. Alright, this time for sure. But that part of what they... of why people like those things is because they are one-off. That it's notable because it only happened once, and it's not overstaying the welcome. Like with Titanfall 2, the right click to travel through time. That would be sick to have a whole game out of it. But the fact that there's one mechanic for each level in that game, and it keeps cycling, also makes Titanfall 2 really interesting. Heavy being the smartest merc is also funny. Like, you realize the soldier only owes about $17 when converting cash to the Korean mafia, but it's also, fuck it, just keep the 20 when they can't break it. Yeah, the Heavy canonically has a PhD in Russian literature. It's just English is a second language and has trouble communicating and expressing that intelligence through it for various reasons. But I'm pretty sure the only person better educated than him is the engineer. That's it. That's absolutely fantastic. Actually, speaking of this, I think I've found the main issue. Wait, can I melt these? I want to see if I can melt these. The main issue of most modern attempts to do a hero shooter. They're not weird enough. They're very straight laced. They're pretty fluent by the end of the comic seems. Also, we get to see Spy's real face. Somehow Scout even looks more like Germa. Wonderful. Okay, I should also definitely take that off because I think Sora Armors has a weakness to Frost. No, I think 100% the main issue for most hero shooters is that most personalities kind of are kind of samey. I'll continue this. Oh wait, ads always there's always the 3-minute warning for ads, and then like 30 more seconds, and then the ad break. Pyro was a successful CEO with everyone. When everyone got true. Pyro was successful, but it's impossible to say anything certainly about the level of education for Pyro because of how overwhelmingly Pyro he is. It might be intelligent. It might have been luck. It might have been something with insanity. Well, yeah, everyone needs to be a little... It's different sort of absolutely, utterly insane. Or at least interesting. That I think that what Marvel Rivals has going for it is that... And there's the ad break. Alright. Be back after that with that thought. And there. And there.
Hey, Ricky, what do you got?
Wasn't that the Johnson rag playing cha-cha-cha?
You sound like, yes, it was. It sure was.
But I never heard it played that way before.
Well, a good tune can be done anyway. Now, wait a minute. Hold it. Lads, wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Show Johnny. We'll prove it.
What do you mean, play another tempo?
Johnson, no. Johnson right is a waltz. Is a waltz. You got it? Here it is.
And just a sec. A little late, but even the most Saiyans ones do a bunch of shit like Jarate. That worked? No, I didn't get the other one. Yeah, Jarates or whatever nonsense. They're very much insane and most importantly, comedically so. But I remember seeing something that most of the like modern or newer hero shooters kind of have. Man, I wanted to warp back for something. I forget what. Oh, right. The wolf skill. Definitely need to get that. Like, it's all either a variation of kind of dude bro personality or overly sure of themselves or just something that felt really generic. Whereas all the mercs being themed after a nationality or actually, yeah, like nationality or region, like Scouts from Boston, Engineers, Texas. It just has more energy in it. Like, it's more interesting. And I think that's part of what's helping Marvel Rivals absolutely pop off in the genre. That they're... Hey, Ghost I can beat up. That because they're working with predefined characters, that if they don't... That between the movies and comic book portrayals... Like, if they don't have Moon Knight be a lunatic and Rocket Raccoon be aggressively how he is, it's not going to feel like a Marvel hero shooter. It's just going to feel weird. But they also have a whole lot of resources to say what these characters should be like, and what and what people are expecting them or their personalities to be. And I think that really helps set them apart from everyone else, aside from just how they are. There's 4 failed to execute the hidden skill I'm about to teach you. Life will be forfeit. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Let's go. Moral Draw is still so cool. Could bring one thing back from earlier Zelda games, it would be that. Oh, the jump strike. Because we haven't been doing something like this all the time. Sword techniques, jump attack. It's great damage when I call it effective against multiples. Like, but focus power in the... What? Oh, right. Right, that you get an upgrade for this. I never really used this. I don't know why, it's cool as hell. Impressive. Or, yeah, it's part of why Borderlands 4 looks off. Is good. Borderlands games were good at that. Even more straightforward types were strange. I think that part of what it is that it feels less stylized. That early Borderlands were... It felt like you were reading a specific type of graphic novel, or like playing that. In how everything was... It was probably the closest thing to Paper Mario without being a Paper Mario game. And I think it intentionally or otherwise, lost some of that stylization. Or at least some of the exaggeration. I don't know. We'll see. The thing is, as with everything else, games release the trailer and their first previews, and then it's like 3 or 4 years of development, and then they're ready to launch. He's wearing a saddle as a hat. Respect. It seemed like 3's character was far less odd. Even Zane wears bright yellow and Mose looks tank girl. Or just human. Humans often know why human come to snows. Are you on spiritual journey to look for your true self? Yeah, sure. Look for a... Yeah, because I literally just remembered when I said that last thing that there's a new Doom game, Doom Dark Ages, that was announced like at the last Game Awards. I think it was at the same one with the please wrap it up sign. No idea when or where that's going to come out. That it just seems like perpetually these games are released far before they're ready. Especially in the case of some game where it releases and then you have to do all this other stuff, or you have to wait a long time for it to actually be playable. Because I'm thinking specifically, oh good, they let me keep the board. I'm gonna say I was worried that I either have to warp or walk back up, or that was it. Games this year seem concerned about GTA 6. Yeah. Oh, I missed. Yeah, that's the other thing. Got Team Fortress 2 comic before GTA 6. It's actually coming out. That one's actually coming out though. Which is wild. That has to be in the work for years. And that's another thing that always has me worried. That the longer a game comes out, how much is that going to negatively affect? Oh, missed. The quality. Because one thing about Concord, that game that was out for literally a week before they had to shut it down, when it took so long to develop that it was in development when Overwatch 1 was the hot new thing. Like before multiple controversies and lack of patches and Blizzard being like, yeah, I know we promised PvE mode, but we've made the executive decision to not do that at all. So you're all cool with that, right? Sweet. And that's the environment that the game was being developed around. The assumptions of what was and wasn't good for that sort of game was shaped by that. And since then, there's been multiple new entries in that genre. Overwatch 2, which got people even more... Ah, dang it, I got too close to the edge. Wait, we're still... Oh, nope. But Overwatch 2 got people even more unexcited about that genre because it just was Overwatch 1, but with the added caveat of you have to unlock everything again. And that's honestly probably a big reason as to why Concord didn't do well. Not didn't do well. Failed completely. So I always have to wonder about games that announce and release and then take another couple of years. Because on one hand, that's an issue. On the other hand, you don't want to have a game that nobody knows about because it just wasn't advertised. But it'd be nice to like start that hype cycle as coming next year. Oh, I missed the 20. There's a lot more jumps here than I had first assumed. How is this one of the few snowboarding things I would actually prefer if it was running off of tilt controls instead of the joysticks? GTA, yeah, that's true. Rockstar has Horseball budget. They can do whatever they want. GTA gives Rockstar's fuck off huge budget, which is, yeah, they can kind of do whatever because even with GTA 5 Online being absolutely huge. Like, when I say horseball budget, I mean all of the unnecessary little details that they put into Red Dead 2 that's like, why does this exist? Who needed this? They could have shipped this game without it, and nobody would have noticed. And in fact, right now, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would much rather the game does not have this feature. Because why? Wait. Holy. I should not have... That shouldn't have worked. That should have been a death. Right? They should just make a bully sequel. There's something absolutely hilarious of a game that has gotten next to no news. Like, yeah, this is something that everyone forgot. Has not been out for a long time. Last sequel was 10 years ago. Last sequel that was good was made in the 90s. And then they just remake it. Like, that's how I felt about Doom 2016. Like, wait. They took this game that had 1 and 2. We don't talk about 3. 3 is easily the most unfavorite game in the series. But every time they have to make a movie about it, because someone got the movie rights for Doom, they do it off 3 because it's the only one with a recognizable, adaptable story, which is also hilarious. And then there's 2016, which just kind of feels like classic Doom, to a degree. I just love that. Alright, if I remember right, there's... Alright. Jews. If I remember right, for this one, there's no reason to stay in wolf form. So I love how the Yetis just come into this abandoned mansion and they have like all the paintings in this pile over here because they don't really care about them and don't want them up. And are also slowly renovating. Hey. I have no idea if she's just wrapped in a blanket and they textured it weird, or if she has no arms. It is equally possible for both. And dungeon but this is also one of my favorite dungeons. It's probably... No, I think now that I remember it, my dungeon ranking is probably Snow Peak, then Arbiter's Grounds. Simply because it's really interesting. Like, this is less of a... It's less of a dungeon and kind of feel... Like, I love the feeling of... Yeah, you're just in these Yetis' homes. Like, they have their living room, their kitchen, and they're at least resistant enough to cold that they're absolutely fine for hanging around and doing whatever. All right. And it's even recognized as by the game. Like, I can't swing my sword in this room, which is usually reserved for a handful of towns, or like interiors of towns. Like, shoot, you can even do that in Kakariko, but not here. So I love the massive freaking cleaver. It's just kind of a cool concept when a game has a dungeon that isn't a dungeon. I understand the assignment here. Push that to there. This down. Stuck there, so I push across. All the way down. And then into the first block, and then onto the switch. And you can kind of tell that this... Also, I just love the design of urban abandonment. Like, you can tell... You can get some interesting shapes from, like, this place. Collapse roofs, ceilings. You can... It's an interesting challenge to... But really rewarding when a game does it well, that they have an area that they want to imply or show that this used to be somewhere that people inhabited, and show what the people were using that space for, but also how it's been ruined. And how it goes, and how those spaces have been taken from. Oh, right, I can see that this used to be like a room for this, but then the ceiling caved in, floors busted open, froze over, and now it's just kind of not. DevCom for Cassette Beast, so they actively refuse to use normal dungeons for theirs, so they're equivalent like train station, broken cruise ship, and a mall. Yeah, exactly. That sort of thing where you have a space going into decline. And I remember someone saying that actually, when you think about it, a mall is like an urban dungeon. It's a mega structure for an unclear purpose that's being reused after the original builders abandoned it. But that also really works for Cassette Beats specifically, because it's supposed to be like a Pokemon, Digimon, whatever sort of deal. I think practically it feels like it has more in common with Digimon, just from the vibe of everything going off of cassettes. But that works a lot more in its favor. Like, if you have an urban setting, those types of interesting urban dungeons are either abandoned or temporarily closed because of disasters. Like, it's possible to do things that aren't just... it's a dungeon. It's purpose-built for whatever. Oh god, these things are so cool. Alright, that... Mortal draws hard on these things. They're pretty quick. Yeah, because I feel like a lot of dungeons have the issue where like the Water Temple and Forest Temple, the first and the third and the first dungeon in this game, respectively, have an issue where it's hard to tell what they're for. Oh, hey, a pumpkin. This isn't right. She got the wrong location. Go back, try to remember the key in. Okay, it's kind of sweet that Midna isn't mad about being misled. She's just like, this is the wrong one. Let's see if she remembers where else it might be. It's kind of sweet that she's not blaming Yetta for the difficulties of a sickness-addled brain. It's a new Sky Island that people are going to drag from different times in the world, like partner villas from Shakespeare play, in which one where Quest Art Jane the Boss or Goodfellas also considered from one. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so I've only seen a little bit from that game, and oh, I have to get on it from the other side. Alright, alright. Shame, that could have been a nice shortcut. A little bit, haven't played the whole thing. Actually, I don't even own it. What? Pumpkin. Just grabs it. You know what? This is just going to be easier because it's kind of hard to heal. And also, it's... I love how the soup levels up as you go. Like, I think first it does 3 hearts, then it does 4, and then it's on par with a red potion. And then it's better. Let me just reset. Hey. Pumpkin. What? You can't even blame them. Like, this entire house is like a cold storage area. Ooh, that is a very rotund-shaped building. I know what to expect there. I think Kayleigh's the only one from the same time. Felix doesn't have comics in his world. Jean's from post-scarcity future, and the other lady's from far enough in the UK it's past she doesn't know what the internet is. From the distant days of particular location in 2004. Yeah. That's definitely an interesting game. Should look at it once. Do I have to do this? Nope, it just stays there. Good to know. Alright, I had another topic, but I forgot what it is. I don't know, point is that I just kind of like the... I just really like abandoned urban spaces. I think that's partially what got me into Stalker, of the fact that it's like, yeah, Stalker and Metro, both games where everything is... maybe I can get around from the other side. Partner dog. Just, hey, as Final Fantasy 16 has proven, that's all you need. People love dogs. But yeah, liminal spaces are just kind of cool. I know a lot of people say they get unnerved from it, and that's kind of what started the whole backrooms thing of, yes, this is, as you can see, this is very scary, very, very unnerving, unsettling. It's just office building after office, or the office corridor office corridor. Yeah, and Silent Hill's also great at this. Like, that's definitely more twisted because of what it inherently is, but also pretty fantastic about the whole thing. Right, it's just crossing over there. Wait, is that where it came from, or is that another way I can get up? I think... Wait, I think I can get up there. Nope, won't let me climb. But I've always oddly found liminal spaces kind of calming. Like, they look like a place I want to hang out and relax for a little bit. They just seem peaceful. Alright, so that ain't the way. Oh, right, there's... I remember now. None of the doors off the living room are actually locked, I think. So I can just kind of... Okay, that one is. But this one ain't. That's what it is. Well, now that you mention it, I think one of the funniest things is that for like Backrooms specifically, the idea of it being creepy because liminal spaces wore off so quick that most people are like, yeah, this ain't scary anymore. We have to add monsters to it. Would you? Get over here. Oh, they just hop. Oh, these things are so annoying to fight. I'm just not going to. That thing is huge. I love it. Oh, just hop through a window. I see. Another reason I really like this area. Cannons. Especially because I'm pretty sure this is the first, like, quote-unquote, well, not even quote-unquote, like the first fantasy thing I saw that acknowledged gunpowder is a thing. And then when I thought about it, like, oh, no, wait, that makes perfect sense. Like, why shouldn't there be cannons and the like in this game? And it also recontextualizes bombs availability in a really funny way. They're not necessarily meant to be anything more than either mining charges or something to clear rocks. Any shrapnel is just because they're encased in metal. Practically speaking, they're just a package of black powder meant to be used as a cannon. I suppose cannon fodder is actually the right word. They're meant to be used in these cannons. But I'll also find it perpetually hilarious that in every single place where the game expects you to have bombs, because they no longer, unlike the original Ocarina of Time game, they don't just drop from places. So you can't do the usual thing where you expect, oh, that was not the bow. Like, yeah, players will have bombs, or if not, they can grab them from nearby enemies. Hey, give me hoping for a hand. I'm just gonna shoot them. Oh, and a hookshot point if you get stuck. So they actually have to give you them as treasure in the dungeon. Hey! I was gonna say I got a twofer, but wait. It's actually incredible. How the heck did that one stay standing? Ooh. Oh, that is so mean. Hang on. Just a second. It just walked off. Bro, I had enough. Nope. I thought iron boots might help with traction a bit. Oh, God. Well, I guess there's not really a reason to There's not really a reason to shoot anything more than the key. Wait, there's not even a reason to shoot any of these. Everything dies with like a tap of the hook shot. Or goes flying, which is same difference. No reason to use ammo. It's going to say if I accidentally fell off because I was being stupid. Ooh. Oh, it tells you where the cannonballs are. Oh, I see what they did. That's clever. I understand what they did. We need a small key to get to where we need to get to next. Yeah, this area is completely blocked off and I don't have a cannon in a location that I can point it and hit that. But I see what they did. They gave you a path through a couple of rooms that feels like the right direction to go. Like, oh yeah, there's probably a key at the end of that hall, obviously. And instead, they put the compass back there to clue into the fact that no, there's a key. There's a key in here. It's just buried. It's buried like there was like one on the other side. And unless you actively use your wolf mode and the senses, you're not going to notice it. Yeah, that was smart. And it also makes sure that you have it because this is one of the more complex dungeons. So that you can see, like, oh yeah, there's cannonballs here. Or if you fire them into the wild white yonder, you know where they're at. What's up here? What is this? Ah. Not quite death, not quite the way to go yet, but something in between. God, those wolves are so annoying. They don't attack enough to be worth going after, but they also don't. But they also attack just enough that it's a massive pain. I wish I could just fire through there. Okay, what we got? More bombs. It's also funny that because so many of the treasures near cannons are bombs, they have them as in case you didn't fire on the big scary monster. Which I love how that's just a bunch of the regular freezards frozen together. That it goes from this big threatening thing down to just, aw, cute. I also love how... There's a lot I love about this game, like how this boss room, you can tell it's a boss room. You can tell it's a mini-boss because of his shape unfilled in. But when you get there, it's not a regular boss arena. It's such a cool little variation. Alright, you lizard knight. Oh, shoot. So as you can tell from the ceiling, I actually have to be able to point the Wii remote at things. Ow. Because my shield ain't doing shit against that. Actually, it was meant to say. Wrong one! Okay, I really shouldn't. This works. Yeah, just stay really close to him. Can't do anything when you're hugging him. I never knew you could do that. I always thought you had to, like, wait for him to throw or get up on the ceiling and drop behind him, like the game is indicating with the hookshot targets on the ceiling. But yeah, I suppose if you just get close within the initial radius, can't do much. This is another thing might be a hot take, but I think they should have brought this back. Joel hitbox. It's not even funniness. It's just the hitbox being dead accurate to the model. Like, yeah, I was between him and the chain. It works fine. That's hilarious. Ooh, bagel. Nope, cheese. Good cheesy soup. Food again? Yeah, I had a bad feeling about this. She didn't seem quite sure of herself. It's really sweet how Min only gets mad about the fact that it's not the right box, not mad at Yetta for getting it wrong. Out of the snowdrift, please. Yeah, it's fine. Like, sometimes they'll let you pull off some stuff unexpected because it's not an auto hit thing, or it's not AOE. Practically speaking, I could see them or Wire if they would do it so that there's a radius around them that would hit, but I also think it's a nice little touch that they didn't do that. Alright. Oh. I should be going back and healing, but I see the puzzle and I think I understand it. Or do I? No, I don't think that's the solution. Because I have to pile up all 3 boxes in a way so that... Oh. I think I get it. Hilarious short characters sometimes dodging attacks without doing anything. Yeah. Yeah, it's the same vibe as that. Definitely. Alright. And then push this down. Over. Onto the first switch. And this one crossed. This one down. Wait. Wait. No, not quite. I get it. So I need to get that back to here. Then push it across into the other one. And then I can remove the other one and stack it up different. On the right, it's seeing that where a character gets ambushed but not hit when opening a door because the immediate attack goes right above them. Moreover, they get annoyed when their height gets brought up. Yeah, him with the Edward Elric response. The who are you calling short? It doesn't matter how many of these I use to inch my way over here because I only need one in the middle and the rest can just kind of stay where they're at. Alright, so that's in line. No, that's in the wrong place. And then I'm going to bring this right across because my idea is basically getting some inchworming these over so that they act as a backstop for that. Wait, no, this is a genius idea, and it will work. It's just that it's a genius idea that'll work, that'll take a moment. Done that, but less Edward yelling is being called short, more part of why they're grumpy and not take it seriously for the time. Yeah. Alright, now everything is in line for the master plan. Now this gets shoved across. There was 100% an easier way to do this, but this is a solution my brain thought up. And it might not work, but it did succeed, which means it worked. And now, in case I want to use the other way at all, Oh, perfect. Sure, they could tear us apart with claws, but also big grumpy puppy. That reminds me, that's like 90% of the frustration of the manager of some DNR page for a national or some national park. It's like, no, I don't care if you think they look fluffy and huggable. Do not annoy the bears. They will win. Do not try to pet the buffalo. We have hours of footage of tourists getting absolutely tossed into the air by them. They are not cuddly. They do not like you. Which unfortunately means... Oh god, just putting the whole thing in there, not even breaking it apart, that's going to take a while to melt. That does unfortunately mean that even if they do tear someone up with claws, they're not good. That's not gonna help anything. Deliciously cheesy. Cheese. Oh, wow. It's like almost a full heal. I think I can see some treasure chests at this start. I can probably grab them. Hey, remember, key in nearby room, so no. And here, you now have all the soup and the dungeon item. Now go run the rest of the dungeon. In case you legit won't actually do anything. Everyone. Oh yeah, he's screwed then. Wait, there's a. This must have been locked as well. Oh no. I had to try. There was no way that was going to work, but I owed it to try. Wait. Does it actually have... Wolf-Link actually does have longer jump range. Doesn't help in this case. Because I believe that one is gotten from blowing a hole in the wall of the other side of that room. Yeah, I gotta get... Oh, wait. We're just... Oh. Neat. Now the problem is... Oh, I just have to hit him twice. Well, it's just money, but we do kind of need it, so can't complain too much. All right, I'm back to blowing holes in people's walls. These one post to meme them basically, don't care, said caringly as I care deeply. Sundry behavior brought on by everyone's antics was seen through. Cute. Man, that thing looks so cool. Like, it's equal parts. It kind of reminds me of like a frozen Tyranid or something. Like some sort of 40k should not exist nonsense. It's right here. I didn't hear the secret jingle, so maybe I have to blow through the ceiling. Or it's something really obvious I'm just forgetting. Ah. Get smacked. Ooh. Okay, like this is what I'm talking about. It's so cool that you can tell that this was supposed to be a guard tower that froze over, so now the only way to really do this is inwards. Aha! Wait, shoot, I was right. You actually are bursting through their ceiling. Oh, absolutely amazing. And back up. I was expecting there to be something else. I forgot the answer that. I was at the Terry Pratchett quote mine to actual antagonist reactions. One about hoping it's not a good man has you out of the mercy because they'll just kill you without. Yeah, that one is so good, especially because in the context of the quote, immediately after that said, the quote unquote good man does show up and just shoots him. I think that one was Men at Arms. Yeah. But that one's one that's a favorite, and it gets brought around almost as much as the boots, so the economic theory of boots, which I guarantee people have seen because the internet absolutely loves to throw that one around. Oh, right. It's actually a really cool solution that you just have a mass that you can set this to swinging. For as much as it annoys me that this game doesn't use any of its gimmicks extensively outside of the dungeons they're made for, most of that frustration comes from the fact that inside the dungeon they are made for, you get quite a lot out of the gimmicks. It's actually probably why bombs aren't gotten as the Goron Mines dungeon item now that I think about it. It's probably have it like that so that they can theme the gimmick around the iron boots and bow a bit more strongly. Ah, cannonball. No. And why don't I have any snoozes? Wait, no, that actually kind of makes sense. I think the ad snoozes on the streamer side are tied to like a 24-hour timer or so. Wait, it's been more than 24 hours. It must be like some time between streams, so if you stream earlier, you don't get they don't refresh. Oh, that's annoying, and also ads are coming like 2 minutes. 3 minutes. Wait, what are we fighting? Oh, right. I wonder if this wasn't something that inspired Breath of the Wild, because a lot of this dungeon is themed around the fact that the ball and chain gives you a whole lot of mass to throw around, and there's a little bit of tech demo in this game as far as how they're able to model things interacting. Huh. So that... Strange. Oh, right, I got cross and then recross. I was expecting that to knock him out of there. I'm not sure if it's like, if this is a true physics engine or more just enough to cheat and make it look like we've got a physics engine. Ah, I thought it was still swinging enough to grab on. Yeah, well, that is why we opened the shortcut. I wonder what... It's probably because this isn't exactly a clear way to show it, but I just got thinking. It'd be kind of... Oh, I jumped straight on. Come on, game. It'd be kind of cool to have the solution to one of these puzzles be that you're kind of cheating and opening a shortcut before you should be. Like, just if when I got the ball and chain, the proper way to get to this area, or this area, would be to hit the ice block before I got up there. Like, go back to this room and then hit it from the top of the stairs. Oh, dang it. So I'm on a time. Actually, could I have? Yeah, I think I could have. I was just taking the long way around. I'm getting that chest. And then probably ending the stream, because, yeah. Oh, perfect. An ad break. Wait, if I cheat. I need to get that thing really swinging. Wait, no, that worked too well. Now I'm swinging time. Got it. Damn it. I love using that thing against things that are way smaller than that much mass warrants. It's quite great. All right, now. And we'll be back in like a minute. Alright, I think everyone's back. Go for a little bit longer just because clothesline vibe added an odd time. Oh, come on. Hit it. There we go. And I'm kind of curious what the next room is. Because like we gotta shoot that cannonball at something. I want to know what. And I just hope they don't accidentally push that onto. All right, those all can chill in there. Oh, hey, Poe. All right, never mind. They cannot all chill in there. They become a problem. They insist on it. Well, no. That is a surprisingly on point one for this game, because that, I remember, was from Okami. God, Okami was a game I streamed so early that it's only quote 13. Like, that's from the beginning of Okami. Wild. Oh. Okay, this might actually be the perfect time to stop before, because this just opened up a shortcut. Sound sofa and dog immediately sits with me on me with leg on my leg. Don't know why dogs lean like that. They probably don't either. They just do what they wish, and that's amazing for them. Right, what? Another cat. Ow. Ow. Okay, I love how Alright, last thought on the game, and then we'll raid out. I love how they give you an item that does the same job as the cannon, but still find a way to use the cannon set pieces in the game itself. Like, they've managed to say, like, yeah, here's some separation anxiety, pup rat again. Unfortunate, but true. Hopefully everyone's had a good time. Be streaming again on a more regular evening. That's the wrong one. That's the right one. On the regular evening times, next Tuesday and Thursday, probably, unless a disaster happens, which I don't know. Do not DPS check the nuns. That was Ender Lilies. Those nuns were intense. Thank you everyone for stopping in. I had a great time, and if my monitor would... There we go. And I think I know who we're going to raid, because we're talking about magical girls and power scaling earlier. So we're going to raid Oceanax, who is a retro magical girl VTuber and amazingly detailed PNG model. Like, I assume she's just really well practiced with hitting things on a stream deck to toggle everything, but it looks great. Never not be an Hell's potato. Ordering food, because we got to carry on with something. Check again. Yeah. But best of luck, and have a good day. We'll see you later. Bye.